Hello and welcome to my tarot ramble, and this is day 15 of these daily videos. I started this little challenge, which is just a little thing I'm doing for me, on Monday the 1st of September, 2 weeks ago today. And I decided I was going to do a video every day for 30 days about my daily tarot card draw and just ramble on about whatever came up. And so far, so good. The cards have been amazing, and it's just been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I'm learning a lot of stuff. I'm learning more about the technology. I still haven't managed to get a good setup or upgrade anything yet, but that's going to happen. The list is getting longer because I realise, that things like my computer doesn't have any power and the lights are all wrong, and I don't get a chance to do it in daylight at the moment. I've tried to get up early in the morning and do it, and the last time I tried, the rain was so heavy on the roof you couldn't hear a thing. So it's been a learning journey, but I have learnt quite a few things. Every day I think I learn something new. I'm getting to know these decks way better than if I was just looking at them on my own, I think. Yeah, stuff's coming up. It's great. I'm really enjoying it. So if you're here, thank you for being here, because without you guys, I wouldn't be doing it. Okay, the light is pretty crap tonight because I had another light but the bulb's gone. I don't know why it's so hard to light. I've got overhead lights, which is just a candelabra thing. My house is quite dark. And then I've got my moon, my little moon. I don't even see that. And the candles, which I know they don't give off a lot of light. But I've got a little lamp on the side, a little lamp overhead. A bigger lamp with the daylight bulbs in. So we'll see. Anyway, I've chosen the decks. This week is quite a cool week astrologically, especially if you're a Cancerian. There's good stuff happening. And I was looking at it briefly today. I haven't had a chance to do much today. But with that in mind, I chose this is the Ad Orbita Tarot deck. It's Nicole Rannis and Peter Henry Reed. They were the people who did the Pythia Botanical Oracle, and I think they did another tarot, and they've got the Maiden Oracle and the Divina Tarot, which I really like. I've got that one too. Seasons of gravity bestowed by the air, where sound and light gather in time to be here. Got a nice box. I love their decks. And that's the back of the box. Join us, people of earth, where flowers root and grow, forever filling the void and the well with a wish, blooming brightly and all of the unknown space we may inhabit. From the soul to the stars, Ad Orbita is a tarot deck that explores ancient orbits of inner and outer space. Through 78 cards, major and minor arcana, Ad Orbita journeys past the present night sky into the sprawling, boundless realm of imagination, finding growth in gravity both near and far. We move through cycles that foster or foil the fears that swing along the path of our creative fate. Oh, another one with mentioning creativity. This is very cool. So, move that lamp a bit closer, it might help. I get very dry talking in these videos. I never bring enough liquid. So you just get a leaflet with it. And all of their decks just have, instead of a traditional meaning, they have a little poem, a little rhyme telling you about the card. So we've got what I just read you. When will the tides turn? When will a star give up and burn? When will a bee buzz in our ear from a light year away be heard? Join us, people of earth, where flowers root and grow forever, filling the void and the well with a wish, blooming brightly and all of the unknown space we may inhabit, into all. So then it's got the meanings, and quite basic. Very nice decks. They're very nice, very well presented. They're not, they are for more creative kind of people who like to do their own thing, I think. And they've got these antique gold edges. And the cards really feel gorgeous. They're those matte kind of lovely cards. And I love the colouring. I love the blue on the backs. So I chose that tarot deck, and I chose the Lunar Nomad Oracle to go with it, astrology theme. This is a sort of Lenormand style deck. The cards are kind of influenced by the Lenormand deck. They've got, you know, all of the same cards. And there we go, another creative deck, as I said. I love their illustrations. You see that in the box. The other reason I chose this is because I thought as the week goes on, I've got to create a big space. Thought about doing it tonight, and I've been umming and ahhing, as I do a lot. And I've got to make more space so that I can do more stuff. So I've got to sort out a tripod and lighting and get it better instead of having it all cramped. I was going to show how I would tarot journal with a deck that's not straightforward. And I thought this would be a great one for that. And a bit of astrology will come into it too. So we'll have a look at, and I've dug out a couple of my astrology books. I've got quite a nice little library of my own that I've gathered over the last 30 years, I guess. Lost quite a lot on the way, as you do when you move around and cross planets. And I've given a lot away and regretted it, because that's what I do as well. Sometimes I go a bit gung-ho with my decluttering. So let's have a look at today's card. I'm excited for these cards. So what did I say? We're the 15th, so we'll do our little cut thing. We'll have that one there. Okay, what day did I say? 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Get my lamp, sorry about this. The 6 of Wands. Wow. Now, in the Thoth Tarot, it's the Lord of Victory, I think. And in the Rider-Waite, it's the guy riding the horse, you know, the victor. And the people like, it always reminds me of the other side of it, the Jesus riding on the donkey and the people throwing down the palm leaves. But anyway, that's the Lord of Victory, and it is the 6 of Wands, which is the second decan of Leo. And I don't know all these things, all these correspondences with the tarot and astrology, but I do know about the 6 of Wands because a couple of my favourite people are Leos. One of them, also born in that decan, is my son. And the other one is Neil Armstrong, who was born the day after not the same year, but my son was the 4th and Neil Armstrong was the 5th. So 2 Leos accomplishing great things. My son hasn't been to the moon yet, but I'm sure if he had a chance, he probably would. And you know something about Leos? Not Neil Armstrong, no, he didn't have that, but most Leos I've met in Aries have that mane. My son's definitely got a mane. My kid's father was an Aries and he had a mane, a big mane of hair. The Sun and Jupiter, yeah. So the 6 of Wands, and yeah, astrologically it is Jupiter in Leo, and Leo ruled by the Sun, so I'm guessing these are the constellations. Oh, that must be Jupiter because it's got all the rings. Right, let's read the little poem, but I will try and sort this out, and we'll do how I would do the journaling. But I would just look at the anything that comes to my mind. I look at a card like this, and I'll look at this, and I'll think, okay, what? I always think about the card before I read anything that a guidebook says, if there is a guidebook, and try to come up with my own thing. And then I'll just ramble on from there. Basically, I journal the way I do these videos. I just ramble. I'm always the same. I can't pretend or anything. It is what it is. So the way I speak on these videos is the way I am in real life. There ain't no side to me. Okay, let's find the poem for the Six of Wands. And yesterday, so we've made great leaps and bounds. We got the Ace of Wands yesterday, and today we're on the Six already. We've gone from spark to victory. This is the way to do it. Okay, the writing's quite small. Oh, the paper feels so nice. And those cards, they just feel beautiful. They're so soft. You know, the kind of, you want to like stroke them on your cheek. Okay, the Six of Wands. Six rings around the centre sun, a constant stream of in-between arriving at once. Confident now, find a moment of reset. The lessons we learn beget our success. Six rings around the centre sun, a constant stream of in-between arriving at once. Confident now, found a moment of rest. The lessons we learned beget our success. Six rings around the centre sun, a constant stream of in-between, arriving at once. Confident now, found a moment of rest. The lessons we learned beget our success. So the six rings around the centre sun is Jupiter, a constant stream of in-between arriving at once. I guess the guy is sitting on his laurels, isn't he? So he's got a moment of rest. And the lessons we learn beget our success. Yeah, because he's got to have learned lessons. I think sometimes there is a chance if it's reversed, it can be a false victory. A constant stream of in-between. That's kind of interesting. So, the Six of Wands, victory, and interestingly coming from, I don't think we've got any other one. I haven't got my tarot journal in here. I don't think we've got any other wands so far in this. We had the only minds I can remember. Oh no, last week we got a sword, we got the Ace of Wands. The week before, we probably did get some actually. I can't remember. But, there. I don't want to put it in that candle. Somewhere you can see it. Okay, let's do it this way. And then we'll look at the Lunar Nomad cards, which are in, they're one of those decks that comes with a box in a box in a box kind of thing. The cards are quite big. I like that cover. Mick Jagger was a Leo too. Yeah, he was. Is a Leo, I should say. Sorry, Mick. But Neil Armstrong and the whole moon thing was one of my obsessions when I was a child. Because when I was a kid, I was at like primary school, junior school, whatever you call it, when they landed on the moon. And I was very tiny. I think I was about 5, maybe 4. We just started and they had a huge television on legs. And we stood and we watched it. And I couldn't believe it. I became completely obsessed. Maybe that's what first got me into the moon. And then, you know, I know there's all sorts of conspiracies and things around it. I don't really get into that much, but I watched quite a lot of the documentaries and read a lot about Neil Armstrong. And I just can't believe how cool, like, I know he did the failed one. And then in one of the films I saw, he was thinking that they weren't going to choose him again. He was at the mission thing and his commander came in. He was in the bathroom or something. I mean, it might not be real life, but he said to Neil, oh yeah, we need a talk or something. And I think Neil Armstrong's expecting to be sacked. And he said, we're on. You're going to be piloting in charge of the expedition. And Neil Armstrong was like, okay, cool. And I'm like, what the hell, you know? You've just been told you're going to be the first man to walk on the moon, and you go, okay, cool. That kind of blew me away. I mean, I'd be raving like a crazy person, like a real Leo. I mean, that's not very Leo behaviour, I don't think. Although, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that was the Neil Armstrong thing. So we got the 6. So we'll do a doofer, and we'll count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of cool cards. They got that, like the moon in a keyhole on the back. They're doing it again. The Rider, number 1, messages. And we haven't got a horse, we've got a camel, but traditionally it was a horse. Try and show you that card without the shadow. So we've got the Six of Wands Victor riding in, well, if you go by the traditional Rider-Waite imagery, and we've got the Rider from the, as I said, they're like the Norman equivalents. I'm going to work, am going to set this up well, I am going to do this, I am. So we've got, well, I think that looks like the Golden Gate Bridge and a camel and the Sagara, what are they called, old something cactuses. I did have one of those, but my goats ate it, unbelievably. I used to have pet goats. And there's a wistful looking maiden in the background and lots of cactuses, kind of a pumpkin cactus down there. So we've got the camel, we've got the desert, and we've got the Golden Gate Bridge. I believe it is the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, there's a Christmas cactus down there. I have some of those. This little thing in the corner, Zai something or other they're called, the real name. I've got one of those. See that? I can get closer. I've got a few of those that I grew from a little tiny leafy thing because they were hard to find here. Now I've got a giant one. So the rider usually means a message, a missive from afar. And these days it would come with a ping or a ding. Let's have a look what this one says about it. But it is interesting, isn't it? Like the Six of Wands. And got quite a few wands in there with those giant cactuses too. They relate together. I know we can make anything relate, but definitely a lot of correspondences between the two. Messages, news, information, receiving something, incoming, opportunity. Oh, there's quite a write-up here. The rider evokes feelings of wanderlust and exploration. She has colourful and curious spirit in pursuit of fulfilment. This whole astrology as well is also about travel, for me, in the Cancerian anyway, and it's also related to other things. But the travel thing came up again last week. Mercury and Gemini or something, I think. I don't know. So we've got travel again. So it's kind of, there are themes. The rider evokes feelings of wanderlust and exploration. She has colourful and curious spirit in the pursuit of fulfilment. She lives on the edge of the ephemeral and embodies the energy of motion and expansion. Her ghostly figure is seen in the card's background, an ever-present spirit drawn to the wild unknown of the world within and without. It can be said that the rider is on the edge of dreaming and waking. It can be said that the rider is on the edge of dreaming and waking reality, simultaneously dreaming and experiencing the dream. I kind of feel like that sometimes. For some, she will evoke a time of new beginnings and deep explorations of creative desires and musings. Her nomadic spirit is always in the process, carrying something into life, from the liquid substance of the creative unknown into the tangible form of reality. Wow, we talked about that yesterday, making that spark into a form. Of the Ace of Wands. The juxtaposition of an industrial bridge in a desert dream reminds us that the reality is born from dreams. Manifestations of all kinds are blooming in the periphery of your life, soon to be discovered. The rider's desert companion, the camel, is a tenacious and resilient creature, sure-footed, ready for the long journey and completely sustained by his inner reserve. By exploring the unknown, you are met with possibilities along the way. You are reminded that endurance can be provided by outside connections and confirmation, but never neglect the rich inner world, for it always provides messages, insights and nourishment to carry you through the most uncertain times. If you engage with the nomadic spirit of the rider, you'll discover the truth that experience is about perspective. Each moment you traverse in the world of the unknown, you could judge the journey as being lost or being in discovery. Discovery holds a promise of untold treasures and the arrival at a destination. A nomad is always aware that when one journey ends, a new adventure begins. Whatever message the rider has travelled to give you, be ready for change and hold on to the promise that your perspective will shift, your mind will crack open and your creative adventure will begin. That's that astrology this week as well. A definite big shift in perspective and change. You might find yourself in the process of discovering something, a project, a message, a service. The rider is about discovering and carrying forward information and insight. The piece of the puzzle you've been in search of might appear. You could be led down a completely uncharted path where even more profound experiences unfold. That is the swift and evolving nature of the rider. Well, this journey, this challenge feels a bit like that to me, Feels like, you know, gathering momentum and, like, as I said, Ace of Wands to the Six of Wands. Bewilderment can ensue in the realm of the rider. If you are confused, acknowledge your not knowing, lead into uncertainty. You'll find an oasis in the arid desert, or you could find the entrance across the bridge to liberation. Ask yourself, what am I delivering in my life right now? Delivery is everything when trying to cultivate understanding and connection. Affirmations are powerful intentions that deliver messages to your higher self, the world, and the universe. Consciously or unconsciously, you are always broadcasting signals and messages. The rider reminds you to acknowledge and explore all the nuances on your inward journey and out. In your inward journey out. Evaluate how your affirmations are shaping your current experience. I was thinking about affirmations the other day because I'm quite fascinated by neuroscience, and I know they say that it doesn't matter if you don't actually believe the affirmation, it does still create new neural pathways. I don't know about that, but I do know that if you do believe it, and if you say it, when you say it, there's a way of saying it where it actually enters your being and your subconscious, and there's a way of doing it when it doesn't. So I think if you say it with the feeling it would possibly work. But I have had quite a lot of experience with affirmations, some amazing experiences with them actually. So it is a thing. But yeah, the neuroscience is amazing. And if you do create, I know you can manifest things. If you put something out there, it's like with these cards, you know, you put something out there, or you say something, or something comes up, and it's a synchronicity. Like Jung wrote a lot about synchronicity, and it happens. Say like you have a dream about something, and you dream about a rabbit or a bat or something, or a goat. And then the following day you might be reading, or you see the word goat, or someone mentions a goat, or you see a goat, or whatever it was. And then it goes on, and that can go on for ages. I've had so much experience of that, and I think these cards are just kind of doing that. And it could be just me making it all fit together, but it does fit together, and it doesn't matter if it's me, because it's coming from all these different connections. So it's just like a web, isn't it? It's like a massive web of interconnection and amazingness, and such a creative. It's just brilliant. It's like it is a very creative thing. These little videos have really enriched my life and my creativity, especially around the tarot. I mean, I've always loved tarot and studied, but it's kind of like fired me up again. And as I said, the challenge with going through all of the decks. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it's all going. So tomorrow, if I don't have too much work on tomorrow, I will try and sort this mess out and set things up better. And I can't work miracles. I mean, I can only use what I've got at the moment. But I'll see what I can do about the lighting and making space, and maybe we can do a bit of journaling. And I can show Jamie some pens, which I never got round to last week because I had so many techie issues. So there's that candle again with the wick that's too small for it. See, drowning its own wick. This is what I mean. See, when I tip the wax out, the flame gets bigger. Why would they even bother to make a candle that can't even eat its own wax or consume its own wax? I have to keep tipping it out, just so that then it'll come back again, because it won't be drowning in its own wax. That's going to be blown out in a minute anyway. So there we are. That was today. I hope you like the decks I've chosen. As I said, I haven't had a chance to look for the Diary of a Broken Soul deck yet, but I'll bring that one out. And I'm expecting a new deck, actually, which is a long, long time since that happened. Actually, I've had 2 new decks this year. This will be the second. I think there's 2, so they're both by the same person. One's not actually new, it's a replacement for an old one. The other one that I got after falling in love with it at my daughter's house was the Queer Tarot, and I absolutely adore it. I used it before I started this challenge, but I'm going to bring that out on the show because it's such a wonderful deck. The colours, it's amazing. I love it. So there we are. Day 15, and we're halfway there. Thank you, people, universe, Jupiter, Neil Armstrong, my son, everyone, all the Leos, all the love. Bye.